Hey guys, it's Athena, and today I want to talk to you about getting unrestricted from the morning panic. You know what I'm talking about. You grab your phone first thing in the morning and start stressing out about all the stuff that you need to do, and you either run straight to your laptop because you're working from home, or you get ready really quick and you run out the door. So you started your day in a state of anxiety. And we hear a lot about morning routines, and you hear this from people that are getting up at 5 in the morning and they've got 2-hour morning routines. And believe you me, I was like, that does not work. There's no way I could do that. I've been slowly building up my morning routine over the years. And now it's one of those things that if I don't do those things in the morning in that order, then I just feel weird. My day feels off. It's like when you go out without brushing your teeth by accident. So there's some tools and tips that I used to implement a morning routine, which now can take up to 2 hours, but it doesn't have to. So I want to tell you, from somebody that used to think morning routines were total BS to now somebody who believes in them, these are the things that I use to help me get my morning routine laid down. So I think the most important thing to bear in mind is that learning a new habit takes some time. So if you start small and do manageable things in your morning routine, don't try to do everything all at once. Don't be like, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Because then you end up hitting the F it button because your brain's, nope, too much. I don't want to do any of that. So actually, the first thing that I started with was flossing. And I know I'm an adult. I should have learned to floss when I was young, but I didn't for whatever reason. So when I turned 30, I was like, okay, this is a year I'm going to learn how to floss in the morning. And it sounds so silly and so little. And the way that I did it was Post-it notes. And I wrote this exact thing on a Post-it note and I put it on my mirror. So every morning when I woke up, I'd go into my bathroom, I'd see me yelling at myself about flossing, and I'd be like, okay. And I wouldn't leave the bathroom until I flossed. Now I have the habit down to like no time at all. I couldn't even imagine starting my day without flossing, but it was such a hard thing for me to implement. And it was because I was not disrupting my normal way of already doing things. So just having that visual cue and that disruption in my day, when seeing that and faced with that, was a really useful tool. Post-it notes can be a great tool if you're trying to start something that's just little that you often forget. So when you're in a certain place, you see a Post-it note. So I have Post-it notes everywhere for when I'm trying to remember a phrase that brings me some sort of joy, or just trying to implement something new into my routine. So I started with flossing. That was pretty much the only thing I did in the morning apart from get ready and go to work. And as some of you might know, I burnt myself out pretty hardcore on the London lifestyle. Even working from home, I'd wake up and I'd panic and I'd look at my phone and I'd see all the messages from the team I was working with. It was 8 hours ahead of me, and I had to basically just run and sit at my laptop. So one of the best things I ever did for myself to help me stay in the mindset of doing a morning routine that helped me set the tone for my own day was putting my phone in airplane mode. You gotta do it. When you go to bed, put it in airplane mode. And then that way, it won't be the first thing you look at in the morning, because you will have to consciously take it out of airplane mode to start looking at those messages. So give yourself that gift of however much time you allocate in your morning to just have you time, to just get in your zone, do your routine, and start your day on your own terms. So airplane mode, it's a game changer. I use it all the time, and they're a lot less of a feeling of my boundaries being impeded on. The next thing that I did was start drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. And the way that I did this was just putting it next to my bed. I filled up a glass of water the night before, and the first thing I did when I woke up, I didn't ask myself to do anything else. Just drink a glass of water. Just get used to disrupting your routine and doing something good for you. So I kept doing that until it became a habit. And once it was a habit, once I did it without having to tell myself to do it, then I started implementing something new. So that's when I started making my bed. And it just makes you feel like you've accomplished something first thing in the morning. And then when you come home, it's so wonderful to, come home to a made bed. So if I come home and I see the bed in a mess, it just makes me feel like very stressed. But it's great when you walk out of your room in the morning, like, I did that. I did something good today. Slowly but surely, I started incorporating more things into my routine. But I just encourage you to start really small and pick one thing that you can do very easily and be consistent with that, and be consistent until it gets to the point that you do it without thinking about it. Then add something new into the routine, and then you can just stack it up from there. And it's a wonderful way to start your day on your terms and nourish yourself. I'm so much more productive. I am happier. I am more optimized at the things that I do. And that means I can work much harder in less time, so that I have all this extra time throughout the day. And what makes me feel the best is that I treat people a lot differently now because I've been treating myself so well. So with that being said, if you're interested in starting a morning routine, start with a glass of water, or start with flossing, or start with making your bed, or start with something super simple that takes less than a minute to do, and then just build up from there. And if you want some additional help, another app that I loved that I used to help me get in the habit of setting a morning routine was an app called Fabulous. So I'll drop a link below. They don't know I'm promoting them. It's just something that I used that I really loved and really helped me. So that's it for me. I'm Athena, and that's how I got unrestricted from the morning panic. I hope these tips help you. I'd love to hear about what you do in your morning routine, or if you started implementing your morning routine, what changed for you? Was it positive? Was it negative? Did it stick? So drop your comments below and tell me about your morning routine. So lots of love, and let's get unrestricted.